Hello, I'm Beelzebub and welcome to my channel. As many of you may know, I was raised Catholic growing up. What you may not know is that in my teenage years I was quite evangelical about it. Things have obviously changed since then, and if you want the story behind that, I'll link my Descent into the Abyss of Atheism video down below. With that in mind, this is intended to be a series of criticisms of the Catholic Church, of which this will be part one, until I run out of ways to criticize the church. And with the seemingly endless string of scandals and doctrines, this series won't likely end anytime soon. In today's video, I wanted to talk about what is probably one of the most well-known aspects of being a member of the Catholic Church: Catholic guilt. Catholic guilt is one of those things that ends up as a punchline in a joke, but sometimes it makes me wonder if many understand how detrimental it is to a lot of Catholics. Don't get me wrong, guilt can be a good thing. If you cause harm to someone, stole something, or any number of other things where real guilt would be applicable, that kind of guilt is good. Catholic guilt, though, is superficial. You feel guilty for things that don't hurt anyone. Just as an example, from when I was still a practicing Catholic, I would feel guilty after masturbating. Something that is perfectly natural, harms no one, feels great when you finish, and can help prevent prostate cancer, aid in the treatment of depression, among other medical benefits. I would feel so racked with guilt after the initial good feeling had subsided. For me, the guilt was so deeply ingrained that I absolutely hated myself. I couldn't do anything about it, though, because self-harm was a sin, and that would just make me feel more guilty. I couldn't bypass the guilt entirely and kill myself because I believed hell was real. Just as a disclaimer, I do not support the idea of self-harm or suicide. I'm against those things. But if not for the Catholic guilt I was raised with, neither of those things would likely have entered my mind as a solution. And when I finally got my parents to take me to see a psychologist, he used that same Catholic guilt as a cudgel in treatment to try and help me. It only made things worse, and I resented him for it. And I resented my parents for not taking me to see a different psychologist when I asked. I'm not trying to hate on my parents, though. They did what they thought they were supposed to do. It's the psychologist who should have known better. Catholic guilt was so deeply ingrained in me that it took me years to move past it and leave it all behind me. It was difficult at first, and it took me time to get over the fear of hell, even after I stopped believing in God. The strange thing to me is that older Catholics seem to lament the diminishing Catholic guilt in the younger generations. On more than one occasion, I've heard older members of the church saying things along the lines of, "Whatever happened to good old-fashioned Catholic guilt?" Well, I'll answer your question for you, older Catholics. Catholic guilt is on the decline because your religion is on the decline. And rightly so. Because of your back-asswards beliefs, as well as your poor treatment of groups of people such as the LGBTQ community. But for me, it's been years since I've had any personal experience with Catholic guilt, so remembering it is thankfully difficult for me. But if you're a Catholic who's questioning their beliefs, a former Catholic who's still struggling with Catholic guilt, or if you're like me and don't remember it all that well because you left it behind, comment down below. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Who knows, maybe we can all help each other. That'll do it for me though. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well to keep up with all my comings and goings. Something I really should have thought of phrasing a little differently considering what I talked a little bit about earlier. You'll find the link for that down below, as well as my descent into the abyss of atheism video. No, I didn't forget. Take it easy, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one. One last thing, everybody. I'm sorry about all the mouse clicks you're hearing in the background. I'm pretty new to the whole editing and video making thing, and hopefully I can get that sorted out sooner rather than later. In the meantime, I'm sorry about it. I'll see you all guys all later.